Hello, so this is for the basic texturing, the basic settings for the camera and stuff like that. Yay! So after ninyo ma-render ma-texture tanan based on your settings and stuff like that. Um, so we will go into different settings sa pag-render. So what you gonna do is you go to the photo after, for example, manako everything here. You go to the photo, and then you are left with this there. So this is for kanang straighten in yung camera to horizon level there, kanang to horizon line ba, for example na ang horizon line dara iyan na straighten. And then this is for the height of your camera. This is set for 1.6 mo na siya ang standard height sa mga tao hantod sa eye level. So like this. Since di man proportion akong model, so taas siya. So you can just use this up and down, up, and down, and then you can still use your basic controls sa keyboard, AWS DQE, and then this is for your focal length. This is ang imong lens kay mo zoom in or mo zoom out. And for proper settings, 15 is for wider shots. 15. You can input this by double clicking the slider, and then backspace and set it to 15. Then for closer shots, it should be 27. There. It's the optimum settings for the focal memory, either 15 or 20. So nara inyo. So I will use 27. Click this, click that, and then I'm gonna look for a shot. Yeah. Let's say kani I want this kind of shot. Kana nasa ubos kunuhay. Like bird's eye view or something. There. Then ako siya i-level and stuff like that. And then I go click this store camera. And then I want something like taas kita now. So something like this. And then I want something more na down effect. Something in an wait, that's much better if nakoy down effect ngayon ani. And I want also like a kind of straight lang. So I would go press this, press that, and then I'll just try to align the guides there, and then center siya sa akong camera. And then like okay. So here, so inyo ni click i-transfer mo kung unsa to nga scene. Yun yung na picture out and stuff like that. So any movement, for example, I want to change the view here, like ganang ko ginani, always press this to update your scene. Next is you have effects here. Later I will talk about that. This is the custom type, kaning mga preset na siya. The most useful for me here is the realistic for exterior, interior for interior parts. Sometimes these are applicable, but these are more on setting the scene, like gabi, udto, buntag. These are for artistic part. So I always go for realistic for exterior. Now you will be given this. Mo na siyang preset. You can edit all of this, and you can even add more if you want, if na kayo makitaan here. But these are the basic things that you need. But if ganan ka mag-add, then you can just choose here. So whatever you want. So first is real sky effect. Kanina ani siya sun and clouds together. So you have to if you want nga imong sun is not on the right direction, then you can change it here. Heading, you can rotate the sun elsewhere that you want. For example, kana kay na shadow, I want that kind of effect there. So mo na akong gusto nga sun position, and then you can choose whether you have evening kind of clouds and this gabi siya na effect, or morning where yellowish pa ang sun, or this kind of morning medyo mga alas 9 na siya nga sun, or clear because you want an aesthetic kind of look na render. This one is as you can see plain kayo ang sky, which is nindot at some pag render. It's so nice. So let's say I would use this one. So next is kanang sharpen. Sharpen is for more interior details, but this makes your photo crispier and something like that. But I don't need this. Maybe I'll just put it in 4.4. Next is exposure for overall lighting. This makes your photo lighter or darker, so it's up to you. Usually I don't mess with this if I'm using preset because it's the optimal kind of lighting. Color correction, I only use this, I only change here the temperature, vibrance, and saturation. Temperature gives your feeling more of a warmer and a colder one. So since buntag mo ko, I'd probably gonna set this to 4 because para murag warm akong picture. And vibrance is for overall color. Murag iya i-enhance ang hue sa color niya. And saturation for basic objects and stuff like that. In duwae lang ning tulo. So you can go for full blast and no like black and white something. You can do that, but for me, in most of my renders, I make sure that vibrance is more than saturation to give something more on a modern kind of effect. And then temperature for interior, I suggest it's 0. For interior, it's exterior, it's 4. Depende sa temperature sa imong kuana adlaw. Next is reflection. I would get back to this later if I'm gonna work with the glass part. And don't edit this first because this is so mulag jud imong image ani or rendering. I will suggest nga lesser ni siya. Hyperlight is something ang gi-reflect nga light is much more hayag. For example, if let's see if we can find one. For example, kani mo reflect na siya og sunlight. Mo reflect ning sunlight, ang katong i-reflect niya nga sunlight mohayag to through this hyperlight. You can increase this or lower this, but if you're not sure, then just leave it as it is. Skylight makes your imong ang sky murag i-reflect niya to overall sa imong photo. So what I usually do here is turn this off by clicking this, and put it in ultra, and the saturation is this. Kay mo color blue imong image because the sky is blue-ish. So put it on saturation to 0.1, click this to on, and put it on ultra. Next is shadow. This is where I usually edit if like I don't use exposure para mohayag akong image, but I just use the shadow to lighten the shadow or to darken the shadow. So arera mo mag-edit. For me, this is the best spot to edit the kwan. So let's say like that. And then normal is the best one kay mura og soft ang imong shadow. Sharp is kind of shitty kay if you have leaves outside, then this is how it would look like. Ultra sharp is overkill, so just leave it to normal. And depth field, this is the focus of your lens. So if these are good for kanang mga focused shot, for example, na kay object dra and you want to focus it and blur the background, then you can do that or do this, something like that. So usually I just turn this off because I wala lang di mo kay gumagamit ng blur. So after that, for it, this is for exterior kind of tutorial and basic mga settings lang. So you can play with this if you want. And then after that, for reflection, you can always set this to normal. And then if you have mirrors, you should select it this naka mirror kunwari. I think this one is a mirror. This glass is a mirror. So if I put it in normal, inana na siya dagway. Look at that. Mura siya glass, but if I turn normal, there. Since kani kay metal man and shiny, so it turns on like that. There. So put it on a normal, and then if we are doing some mirror, then edit reflection planes, then click this and choose the surface. Kana there. Okay. So as you can see, iyang reflect ang grass kay mirror man ni siya. I mean, for the sample, for the sake of sample lang, mirror na siya. So as you can see, medyo mulag na siya because I turned on the reflect. Again, go back to the scene. Maybe I could show some of the reflection, kind of edit there. Maybe nani, and I will update it. And then if ganahan ka nga kaning tanan settings is mo apply all throughout the photos nimo, then you can go edit, copy effects, and then go to the next photo and then edit and then paste effect there. And then you can do that to every nawala. Edit, copy effects, edit, paste, and then edit, paste there. So there's also something like this. This would happen most of the time sa interior spaces. Ganay mag-ali sa imong view. You can use FX, press FX, and then advance, and then near clip plane. This would remove this mura siya section view sa SketchUp. This would remove what's in front of you. So imo lang ni siya slide. So you can see hinahinay nang nawala ang leaves. If that's what you want. But then this is good for kind of interior spaces nga na ali. Yeah, small ang space, something like that. So you can just do that. But since I want the tree here, so I just delete this one. I don't need this. So yeah, you can play with that. For straight shots like this, you can also add 2D perspective para mo flatten og maayo imong scene. So yeah, that's it for basic one. And then you render here, render. If you want to render a group, kanitan, if you want to render this in all in one go, then go for photo set. Be sure nga naka-check. And if you want nga na ay dili appeal on render, you just uncheck it. If you want nga appeal, then check it again. And then email for kanang testing lang, desktop for something more final, and print for kanang kailangan jud nimo i-print ang imong photo because this is much more detailed. And then I usually go for email if kanang mga first few shots nako. There, first few shots. Usually it looks like this, and then you just have to wait. Then that kana as you can see, the here sa kaning side kay mirror gi-reflect niya ni ang grass. But then yeah, that's it. And just pause it. Okay, I'm not here to render. There. And escape for kuan canceling. So yeah, that's the basic. Just play with the sky, the sun for great lighting. I usually go for clear and then pilion ako ni sometimes and then just move around and then I like kani siguro nindot kani nga sun effect like that nga na tree nga reflect na shadow. That's for the exterior. Mao ra to imong hilabdan. You don't have to add more, but if you want, we can talk about the weather, this fog, magbutang ka og fog sa imong kuan, sa imong render like that. This is nice if like forest nga render something or di kaya foggy imong setting, then you can use this. You can choose a color for kuan. Fall off is kanang i-remove niya ang nasa taas but trying to remain the nasa ubos like that. There. As you can see na siya fog effect gihapon during a part if I increase this or decrease that. Brightness is for color, I guess. I think this is for color. There. Something na this is for the brightness day. This one is the brightness. Something like that. Next is sky. Mamili lang mo diri. I don't really use this if di jud kayo makita akong sky. Objects, this is for water and stuff like that. For pool, you need this. Camera photo matching, I don't use this. Handheld camera is good for video making because you can make animated video here in Lumion. Exposure is given in the preset. 2D perspective is given also in preset sa interior. I will talk more about this on the second video. Depth of field, katong na focus. Lens flare, this is good if na makita sun sa imong image and like murag mahatag ka o kanang inani ba kaning circle nga gagmay. Fish eye for additional kanang photo effect lang if ganang kaginana. Animation, these are good for video making. Styles, this is for outline kanang murag inani imong outcome, but if you are into photorealistic then you don't use this. Color correction is given. Pastel kind of sketch like this. I don't use this, but you can do that here. And then sketch, you can also have painting, noise, watercolor, something like that. Bloom is kina muhayag imong na bloom effect imong kuan there, but you don't need this. I don't need that. Styrofoam is nice for kanang mga presentation kind. This is nice as well. And then yeah, just play with around with these settings here. Advanced print poster, this is for higher quality of print. If you want nga nindot kay quality like super duper nindot quality imong photo, then add this after your preset like this imong FX and then choose that, then leave it enabled, that enabled, that enabled, something like that. Just add it there. So yeah, that's it. And then you render. Then let's say kani I want to render this email test. Yeah, that's it. So since lagi naman siya, so mawala na dyan eh. So, makita ninyo ang saan man to kung gitudlo? Weathering effect. There's this here. So, ang output with this one is this. Charing. Yeah, water and stuff like that. Tree. And you're done. Then you can Photoshop this to enhance. It's up to you. Thank you. That's all.